You know, one of my favorite superheroes of all time is Batman. And as a film lover, I kind of have to be. I love the Burton movies. Those are really good. The Nolan trilogy, almost perfect. The Matt Reeves version, dark and grimy. And don't even get me started on the animated shows and movies. Those things, boom, they're so good. But recently, I've been kind of getting tired of all those movies and shows. And I shouldn't be, because they're too good. But there's something missing. There's something that I need to fulfill in the black hole of my soul, which is another Batman-adjacent movie or something. And I just don't know where to look. What's this? A hidden version of Batman that I haven't seen? And it came out near the time of the Nolan trilogy? Why haven't I heard of this?
Rise of the Black Bat is directed by Brett Kelly and was released on April 1st, 2012.
You gotta be kidding me, right?
The movie is about a district attorney named Anthony Quinn who gets blinded by the doings of Oliver Snate. After he is blinded and gets the vision of a bat, he dons the mask and cape to serve justice as a vigilante. The Black Bat name is one of the weirdest things I've dived into for a video. Comic book wise, there are 4 versions of Black Bat from different eras of DC and other adjacent comics. The best known version of Black Bat is Cassandra Cain, who donned the mask in 2011's Batman Inc. issue 6. Amalgam's version of Black Bat is Barbara Hardy, who was first introduced in the first issue of Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Amalgam's version of characters is based on the idea that DC and Marvel's universes collided and had to coexist with one another. Next is Samuel Braxton from Earth 1's American Civil War comic, pre-Crisis, in the Batman issue 600. He is actually the first African-American to be a variation of Batman, which is pretty cool to think about. And finally, we have the original Black Bat. This version was created by Thrilling Publications within the Black Book Detective Comics. This version was created by Thrilling Publications within the Black Book Detective Comics, which then got its own 6-issue comic under Black Bat Detective Mysteries. This version's character is named Anthony Quinn. Sound familiar? Weirdly enough, Dynamite Comics, not Detective Comics, would revamp that character in 2013, a year after this movie was released. So the movie's version of Black Bat is based on the original Black Bat, but thrown into the modern world.
I must see this movie at once. How about you guys join me on this and we can experience Black Bat together? It totally won't be bad, will it? Will it?
The movie starts with a quote from St. Augustine about punishment. Maybe this is foreshadowing what we're in for? We'll have to see. All of a sudden, we're thrown into an alleyway where 2 guys are keeping watch with the light of God beaming on them. One guy has to take a piss and leaves the screen, holding the shot on the other guy for a while. He eventually goes to investigate when we see the first appearance of Black Bat.
What is that? Why is he staring at the camera when he's knocking the guy out? Maybe his voice will match the intimidation factor that he has. You know, kind of balance it out. Maybe he's just acting a little weird in the shot.
My name is Anthony Quinn, and I'm the district attorney of this city. My friends call me Tony.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those movies, isn't it?
By the way, Black Bat's going to be our narrator for this movie, so stay strapped.
The next thing we see is a very late 90s/early 2000s CGI title sequence. Nice touch for it being a low-budget movie. We cut to the shakiest wide shot ever as a random woman walks around the corner to take a smoke break. Jesus, couldn't they have gotten a tripod for this movie? While she's smoking, we see 2 ruffians starting to stalk her. They look like a dad and son who got bored and decided to rob someone. My god.
These guys take so long. Thankfully, they eventually catch up to the woman, but this is generally the worst mugging scene I've seen in cinema.
Luckily, this woman is saved by our dearest hero, the Batman we have Black Bat. Eventually, everyone starts pulling out guns and starts blasting.
Can I just say, if this were to actually happen in real life, the cops would have been on their way by now, with how long their gunfight is going on for. Am I thinking too hard into it? Probably. But, you know, you still have to kind of think about this stuff every so often.
Also, yes, you're seeing that right. The muzzle flashes and gun sounds are completely basic stock effects you would find online, and are a laughing stock in this film.
Get used to them, because we're only 10 minutes into the film.
Eventually, one of the muggers decides to bail, when
Yo! Yo, holy
Holy shit, he dead!
I didn't realize that this dude was just gonna be killing bad guys with guns in this movie.
After Black Bat kills both ruffians, he tries helping the woman, who just runs away from him. He emotes about this while for some reason hanging upside down and making his mating face? I don't know. He only does this once. I don't know if there should be a cosplay or mom I threw up joke here, but just accept what you're seeing. Complete side note here, for some reason, Black Bat's eyes are so green every so often. Maybe he started the laser surgery trend, but chose to do green instead of blue. Getting back on track, we get to see the most boring driving sequence. It's literally just a camera guy with a light and Black Bat driving a real car. This driving sequence that we see throughout this movie could have just been done completely differently without risking the actor's life if anything goes wrong. They could have had a car in park and had people holding lights outside the vehicle swaying the lights to make it look like the car was driving. Just don't let OSHA know about this scene. They would have a heart attack. We finally get to see what Black Bat looks like out of costume and get to know what he does for a job with an unsynced flashback in slow-mo.
Thank God, I've been wanting to know what he looks like underneath the cowl, you know? It's like the mystery of Batman. You really want to know what he looks like.
Oh, great heavens!
Oh. He just looks like a normal dude.
Anyways, a guy named Silk Kirby, I guess that's a name, he breaks inside Tony's house, gets caught, and explains to Tony that a hitman is going to try and kill Tony.
Not me. I heard that one of Oliver Snape's men is coming here to kill you.
Kirby and Tony set a trap for the hitman. The hitman falls for it and dies dramatically. Kirby at this point just becomes his Alfred, so get used to seeing him a little bit.
What? Call the cops. This guy's bleeding all over my carpet.
Thought this movie would have actually have decent one-liners. Oh, god damn it.
Court day arrives when out of nowhere Tony's, I guess, assistant betrays him and sprays him with acid?
My eye! My eye!
Sir, someone call an ambulance.
I can't see. I can't see.
Okay, if I'm getting this right, that was acid thrown at him, right? So if it was acid, shouldn't he be, like, in pain? You know, covering his face while his skin is melting? You know, like a Harvey Dent situation?
Luigi Moroni sends his regards. Hey, the witness! You're dead, Holiday! You hear me? Dead! That stuff will eat through concrete!
After going to the hospital and being a depressed mess, a woman comes to the door and gives Tony an offer he can't refuse. Follow the instructions left for him to get a mystery surgery in Europe or stay being a blind, miserable man. Also in this scene, the mic is put in some of the worst spots, so hearing the woman with the loud music is a nuisance.
But I'm sure you can hear me. I want you to listen very carefully. I can help you. I can help you to see clearly.
So Tony and Kirby go with the woman to Europe and get the surgery over some random B-roll they didn't film.
You know, this situation reminds me of Saw X a little bit. Thankfully, John Kramer isn't in this movie, so these so-called doctors that operated on Black Bat, or Tony, is, you know, gonna be alive at the end.
It's been 2 weeks since his surgery now, so it's time to see if his eyes properly work.
What is it?
Alright, you caught me. The sound effect isn't actually there. I just wanted to put it in there because I thought it would fit. And it does.
So after learning about his new vision, he comes with a plan. And what kind of plan would that be?
He has to deal with Tony Quinn, but he also has to deal with the Bat.
Of course he decides to be a bat. Why wouldn't he want to decide to be a bat?
So after he decides to be the Black Bat, he goes undercover to get information about Snake and his men in the most uncomfortable scene in the film.
He goes to a random bikini competition where I don't even think I can show any of this on YouTube. But thankfully, I'm good at describing things, so we still have to deal with it. In this room, there is a max amount of people in the audience of 5 people. And it lingers so long on each model. Literally, this whole scene is 8 minutes long. Why is it that long?
And there's a stock sound of clapping for almost the whole 8-minute duration, so it's super uncomfortable to watch and listen to. Eventually, the informant shows up near the 6-minute mark, I believe, thank God, and tells Tony about a buy happening that night for some cash. Tony gives him the cash and leaves to gear up, leaving the informant to watch the rest of the competition.
I would have done the shot entirely different from what it is in this movie. I would have had the competition more in the background and out of focus, so the focus point could be at like a bar or something where Tony and this informant can, have business. As well as cutting the scene in half by doing this, and having Tony the informant already there like it is in the movie, and have the other ones show up, do their business, and leave. Way easier, way less creepy.
Getting back on track, after Tony leaves, he gears up in the slowest way possible, in slow motion and showing almost every single piece of his outfit being put on him.
Why can't we just pulled an Edgar Wright and did a fast-paced zoom-in session with all the gear that he's putting on? It would somewhat resemble the Tim Burton movies, yeah, but it would look way cooler than what we see here.
We cut to the buy happening. We see a guy named Steve. No, not that Steve! Steve here is selling guns to a random buyer. He freaks out and takes pills to calm himself. I don't know why, but he pops him like his name is Norman Stansfield or something. I don't know. Eventually, Black Bat shows up to the buy to give these punks some old school justice. The buyer bullies him enough for him to disappear somehow. I think his surgery did more than just fix his eyes. He in some way teleports back and beats up the buyer's assistant, all while they're looking in the same direction Black Bat appears.
Is this dude a Nightcrawler ripoff, or is he supposed to be Batman? I'm just trying to get some clarification here, because he's crossing multiple characters at this point.
I don't know why, but most of this movie's music just reminds me of old Nerf videos on YouTube.
What can I say? I must have grown up in the right era.
Anyways, Steve and the buyer run off to a random alley to catch their breath. Black Bat catches up to them and has the worst gunfight I've ever seen.
Shut up and shoot him!
I mean, I wasn't expecting a John Wick level of action scene, but having a shot with no muzzle flashes and trying to whitening the footage does not work out. Trust me, I have been in that position, but at least I try to hide it a little bit.
Continuing from this, the buyer gets shot and Black Bat tells Steve the classic "tell your boss I'm coming for him" line, yada yada. Steve then goes back to Snake and tells him what happened at the buy.
Like an A shot. An A shot. A shot.
Did Steve just say that Black Bat was an ace shot? Do his pills have side effects or something? Because he was not paying attention during this whole movie. Black Bat is not an ace shot. Trust me, he is one of the worst shots I've seen in cinema and in person. And I've seen a lot of people have bad aim.
I guess this point Snake thinks he's Mo Green or something because he's doing the cliche evil guy moment of saying no one messes with him.
I rule this town with an iron fist. It's gonna take more than a moron in a black suit to put a scare into me.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
Wait a minute, Mo.
At this point, wait, what? We're going back to the opening scene and watching it all over again? Oh my god!
At least this time we get to see more what happened afterwards, so that's a plus, I guess. If they wanted to make Black Bat more of a threat, couldn't they have just pulled a Terminator police station scene? At least to make him scarier? Somehow Black Bat gets caught and taken to Snake. I guess this was his plan all along, I don't know. We're not given any scenes of him planning before he tries to raid the place. Snake tries talking to Black Bat about him working for him, when he randomly pulls out a stick of dynamite?
Do you ever pull out a random stick of dynamite while you're in the middle of a conversation? I'm just trying to figure this out, because I guess this is normal for him.
You know, I wonder what that would look like.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea.
Getting back to the scene, all the goons run out and Snake tries to shoot Black Bat and fails miserably. Black Bat again pulls a new Cybot teleportation punch and defeats Snake and arrests him or something, I don't know. He takes him out of the building and for some reason blows up the building?
Yeah, it looks cool, but it just doesn't make sense. That building had so much evidence against Snake, and Black Bat just blew it up. Is he not using his brain or something? He's the district attorney! But at least the shot looks super cool. And you know what? It looks super cool that they use it twice, back to back. Yeah.
To end this movie, finally, Black Bat gives a final monologue over stock footage one last time, and we hear people talking about Black Bat with random fan art of the Black Bat on screen, which some of it isn't even cropped properly.
So, overall, it's not the worst movie that I've seen. The newer Steven Seagal movies that he's made are way more worse than this. But having it be a Batman knockoff isn't the worst thing, even though he doesn't really follow the rules of Batman. The biggest issue besides the script is the budget. If they had a bigger budget, this movie probably would have been better. And that is Black Bat. That's all I have for you for today. Make sure you do the usuals of like, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And next time, maybe we'll review a good movie, maybe another bad movie, but you'll just have to wait. Until then, I hope you have a good day. Bye.